Okay, so a few more things to go over with the Nacirema reading. Real quick, I've got to drop this. If you spell Nacirema backwards, it spells American. This is an article written about American culture from the lens of someone who is not American. Now, I'm going to break down some details that make it very clear that this person is talking about Americans. If we scroll down, right off the bat, they talk about how the Nacirema are a North American group living in the territory between Canada, and this is a Native American group found south of where the United States is today. So geographically, right off the bat, we can tell they're talking about Americans. If we continue to scroll down, these two paragraphs kind of talk about the Nacirema's, you can call it an obsession with the human body. And if you think about American culture, there is a lot of focus on appearance and bodies and how they should look. So that's kind of diving into that. You might be wondering, Miss, what on earth could the shrine in the wall be? Well, it's a bathroom. So your bathroom might have something called a medicine cabinet. I know my bathroom has one. It's like a mirror over my sink that I can open. I keep like toiletries and some medicines in there. And those charms and potions that they get from the medicine men are referring to pharmaceuticals that you might have at home or products that you use. The fountain, that's a sink. Holy water, water temple. You live in Manchester, your water is treated by a water treatment facility. And you might be saying, Miss, well, this person's just describing things that we do here wrong. It's not necessarily wrong, it's just not the way we describe it. Any way of looking things differently than we look at them is not necessarily wrong, it's just different. Medicine men, doctors. Now, you might be looking at the Latipso. If you spell Latipso backward and add an H, it's a hospital. And if you think about it, this is where very sick people go to hospitals. And surgeons are kind of miracle workers. They open up your body and change things around and then sew you back up. And assistants who move quietly around the temple or hospital would be nurses. So again, these are pieces of American culture, American society, described differently than how we would describe them. But just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. And it makes you think about how we look at different cultures and are so quick to label them as weird or strange or odd. Well, this is someone doing the same thing about our culture. And I'm sure this doesn't necessarily seem like fair or correct to you. And when you describe other cultures as strange or odd, it probably doesn't seem correct to people who belong to that culture. So the question we're asking ourselves with this whole activity is, what is the danger in making assumptions about groups of people? Well, I think we get a lot of things wrong when we make assumptions, but that's our exit ticket question. So I definitely want to know your thoughts on that. A few more things to point out here. Fascination with the mouth. Brushing your teeth is something you hopefully do at least twice a day. It's something Americans are very strict about in a way, mouth hygiene, because we do believe that if we don't brush our teeth and go to the dentist or the, what do they call them, holy mouth man, your teeth might fall out, right? I'm sure many of you have braces. That's kind of a crazy thing to think about if you're not from our culture, the idea of putting metal and cementing it to your teeth. Fun fact, because I know a lot of you are probably like, what's going on with the hog hairs? Where is it? Well, I can't find it. It's in here somewhere. Hog hair is what the original toothbrushes were made out of because they're very bristly and short. So it was easily to make like a toothbrush type device out of it. So again, from an outsider's perspective, from the perspective of someone who's not American, American culture can seem pretty bizarre. And as we study different cultures this year in social studies, we need to keep in mind that just because something is different or not the way we do things, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it or that it's bad. It's just different.